Namaskar, my name is Ankita and I'm based in Dubai. I happen to attend the Siddha Immune Boosting Program under Master Sneha Harish and just 2 days back. And honestly, I was unaware of what I'm entering into, what I'm going for. But all that I could think of at this moment was to do anything to get, to not get infected from the corona. And it felt like a good opportunity. Maybe it was my calling. And I attended. The session began with a very elaborate affair as to Akka explained every detail of the entire program, why we were doing it, for what, and what benefits will it have. And honestly, it was not too expensive or too difficult a remedy that she gave, which probably I felt was, we had forgotten our traditions and the basic food that we used to eat, and that's what she incorporated in our entire session. She told us to incorporate basic foods, and all of that happened, and then we went into the toxin removal, where we were asked to stare at an egg or a lemon, whatever is better for you. And we were told to stare at it for about 5 minutes, and believe me, those 5 minutes felt like some kind of energy that was flowing in, and that energy was definitely a positive one, because it was a kick from inside that you felt, something is going on, and it generally felt really good after those 5 minutes. Of course, I went into a meditative, mode, and meditative mode in which I felt very relaxed, and it was very peaceful. Those 5 minutes felt very peaceful and very positive. So that was one of the really good exposures. Second, we went into, so we had to go and dispose off, because that way she took out all the negative toxins from us. We had to get rid of the lemon or egg, whatever you use. And then we had to, wipe our face with the water that she had asked us to keep. Drinking that water was different. It didn't taste like the normal water that we drink. For some reason, the taste of the water was very different. It was different. I don't have words to describe what it was, what taste it was. It was different. So that was another change that I felt in those 3 hours of that entire session. Post that, she made us do Ojas Kriya, which was, Ojas Kriya honestly was not, so she explained everything that, it's not an exercise, it's not, it's a kriya that you're supposed to do. So you cannot incorporate it as one of your exercises or anything of that sort. And after we did, a couple of exercises. If you happen to attend the program, you will be doing it towards the end of it. Honestly, we did so much body workout, but it felt so good doing it. It felt like there were, releases of energy. For some reason, it just felt like that. It felt like, it felt like a lot of, release of energy, and, so obviously negative energy flowing out, and of course, positive walking into our lives. You could feel that from inside. It's something that cannot be, described in words. And that was one thing I felt. And apart from that, towards the end of it, there was a lot of heat which was produced within the body, and it was not something that we did very, stressful or strenuous for that matter. It was a very normal exercise that we did, but the heat that produced from within made the actual impact. So Akka explained very elaboratively, very into the details as to why the heat has been produced in the body, and it was a beautiful process. And after that, she asked us to sleep for about 1.5 hours. It was not basically sleep. She told us to just switch off from the world. And meanwhile, she was not switched off. She was working on us. And so those 1.5 hours, I'm someone who's not a very, who's not a strong or deep sleeper. Those 1.5 hours for me passed in, it felt like probably a minute and a half. So for me, it was, and I woke up so fresh. Usually I end up waking up very crampy, very like it. So it was not the usual time when you go to sleep. So I didn't have to even force myself to go to sleep. So that was another point. I slept through. I woke up so fresh. Definitely, I felt a little dehydrated, but since Akka had mentioned and told us very clearly that you will feel so definitely drink lots and lots of water. Before I could wake up, she had sent all those messages saying done, 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 that she was done with the. So that's the thing about a master. Master was so involved that literally it was not like a it was not it didn't feel like it was a business. It felt like a personal one-on-one connection and concern from both sides. So definitely it's the master that actually does a lot of difference in this process. And of course it's not a one-way process. So one step from the master, one step from the the patient or whatever, client, customer, friend, whatever, as well. And as soon as I wake up, I got a message from Akka saying, please drink plenty of water. So that's the kind of concern she had. So you don't usually get to see that also, another point. And it's been 2 days that I've been doing, 2 days of that 21 days that we're supposed to follow a Kriya. We're supposed to do Ojas Kriya for 21 days. So it's been 2 days that I've done it, and today was the second day when I did it. I felt good. I did it in the morning. Honestly, I'm recording this much later, this video, and I'm still so fresh. It was probably the best start to have. I'm usually a yoga person, so I do yoga every morning. Today and yesterday, I've been doing Ojas Kriya and then my yoga routine. It felt amazing after that. It was not strenuous. It was just like a process that is happening slowly and gradually from within. I can feel it. I know there's something happening. But since I know it's for the good, I am, very optimistic about it. And I would recommend this program to everyone, whoever's seeing this, whoever. It's not like you need to have a low immunity to do this program. You can in general do it, considering the kind of times we've had, the kind of lifestyle we have nowadays, the kind of food we eat, the kind of sleeping hours, the kind of routine exercise that we have is definitely not healthy. So I would recommend this program to everyone watching this video. And I look forward to much more healing sessions under her, because definitely once you feel connected to your healer is when you actually want to come back to the healer. Otherwise you don't feel like it. So I would say a big thank you to Akka for bringing me into this, for enlightening me into this process and making it so simple. Those 3-4 hours will easily just flow in. So